Before I give the floor to our management board, I would like to invite the host of this beautiful place, the Director of General Construction, Jakub Nagraba, who will give you a warm welcome on his site. Welcome everyone. It's not a site anymore. It's a building with all required permits, so we're allowed to be here. Welcome in this conference in our building that was built by General Construction Division, that I have the honor to be the boss. I think that the whole building will be presented in detail by Daniel, a site manager. So I invite you to see the site, to see all the places, especially the rooftop, where we have a beautiful view. Ladies and gentlemen, General Construction Division has been carrying out this contract since June of 2018. A lot of challenges happened, the pandemic, the war. In spite of all, this building has been carried out till the end. Obviously, we're in a stage of the last works, and I would like to give thanks to everyone who was working on the site and to our team, to the subcontractors team, and to the suppliers team. It has been a lot of work, but you can see the results. I'm not going to spend more time talking about the details. We're going to have an opportunity to do it later. And I give the floor to our president. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Jakub. This is our third result conference of Budimex Group. We're going to comment on the results, goals. But before that, I would like to give my warm welcome to the investors, to the analysts, to the media and all the experts present here, and to all our employees that are present here in this auditorium and also in front of their computers, because we have this conference streamed live. I've always said that the people are the greatest force, the greatest asset of our company, and because of you, we are able to carry out projects that are that complicated. Apart from the importance of the building in terms of the history, this is a very important building in terms of technology. We are going to tell you how, in detail, how complicated the work was and how the building was designed and how the works were carried out. Up to 800 persons have been working on this site. There were a lot of challenges with material supplies, but we still have managed to do it all and to carry out this work. This work that is going to be a very important place for all the city and the country. I would like to ask persons that were working on the site and building here that please stand up. Let's give them our applause. Also, Jakub, I would like to give my thanks to you, to Daniel Tymiński. I'm not going to tell the names of all those people, though I know all the names because I've been here every week during the works. Ladies and gentlemen, before our results, I would like to present a short movie on what has been happening in the last quarter. Third quarter. we've been placing bids for connection for 140 megawatts. Now coming the macroeconomical data. The macroeconomical environment being GDP and inflation. Inflation is still high. 12% is projected for this year, but we're seeing that the dynamics are going to be lower this year. The first quarter of next year are going to be difficult because of the pressure from fuel prices. GDP low, 0.6. We expect it to grow in 2024. PMI is lower than 50% because of the limitation of growth, but as we see, the construction and assembly production has grown 11.5%, but if you enter into the details, you can see that not all the data are that optimistic. Year over year, the all indicator grew 2.3%. The situation in the construction, we have this issue that this is lack of materials, prices of materials. As the companies see it, the highest problem is the high level of inflation that also affects material prices. The accessibility of manpower is an issue also at the 34%. It used to be lower. Also, we continue to see growing pressure from the cost of employment. Prices of selected materials, we have a small stabilization. The prices got lower, but not to reach the level before the war or before COVID, so the prices are still quite high. There is a stabilization except for asphalt that is growing now, but we managed to hedge asphalt prices, so our purchasing department had a good feeling about it and managed to do the hedging. This was a general macroeconomical data that affects the construction.
Before we sum up our results, I would like to show you our structure. Our group is constantly increasing its potential, opening new segments. So just to remind you how we are. First of all, construction segment, 4 main companies: Budimex Railway, Budimex Construction, Mostostal Kraków has bought a new company, Constalex. Then another segment of our activity, foreign markets, with Budimex Bau in Germany, Rail Budimex as well in Germany, and our branches in Czech Republic, Slovakia, and in Latvia. And then we have services, FB service and circular construction. And then we have renewable energy sources, BXF Energia, Magnolia, wind farm, and Camellia sun farm. And finally, other segments with Budimex Mobility and Chargers and Budimex Parking Wrocław. So, ladies and gentlemen, our revenues have reached 6.9. So we can see almost 10% of increase. And in EBIT, we have registered an increase of 15.6%. And as far as our net profit is concerned, it has reached 450 level with an increase of 25.6%. We have increased our sales as well as a profitability in all our segments. Now we will go to our segments. Construction segment with an increase of 9.2%, reaching almost 6.4 billion. EBIT at the end of the third quarter, 6.7%, with a great level of order book and a very nice diversification of our activity. We have to add as well favorable weather conditions, which are important for the construction industry. What we would like to underline is that in the construction market, we have registered our first revenues from foreign markets, which translates as well into our results and in our EBIT segment of services. Our revenues have increased 16%. EBIT is very similar to the one we observed in the previous year. Evolution of the net cash position, it's a historic value, 2.9 billion zlotys, a very good level. So our stable margins from our sides, together with good management of working capital, gives us this very good net cash position level. We are improving our profitability as a whole company. So let's look at our dividend history. We've been paying dividends for the last 15 years. We share our profit with our shareholders. We've paid more than 4.5 billion zlotys of dividends in the last 15 years, which gives 179.8 zlotys per share. It's one of the best results in Poland as far as dividends level is concerned, and we think about continuing this policy, dividend policy. Let's have a look at our order book. After three first quarters, we have signed 4.5 billion contracts. We have a railway line, Chabówka, among others. We have as well a contract with PKP PLK worth almost 900 zlotys. This order book is very diversified. What is really important, that infrastructure sites have 42% of this order book. It's related to the level of European funds. Infrastructure market, railway market and general construction have a very nice share as well in this order book. Now we will pass to the best bids, but still we haven't signed the contracts yet. 13 billion zlotys. As you can see on your left, on your left you can see 3 previous years. We've compared those contracts pending signature. In general, it didn't surpass 4 billion zlotys. Right now, we are awaiting signature of 13.4 billion zlotys. So it's a very good result. The efficiency of signing those kind of contracts was at the level of 95%. So a huge part of those 13 billions will be signed. On your right, you can see the estimated maturity of this order book, of this backlog. We can say that some of them will be executed till the year 2031, which is a very good news for our teams and for our equipment. We have works guaranteed at least till the year 2026. Many of you ask us about our contract acquisition. So we would like to show you the bids that we have submitted, especially in our foreign markets. These are bids and markets that we've been working on for the past 2 years. We started our activity there in 2021. We've placed 2.8 in 2021. This year, 4 billion. The Czech Republic is the dominant one, as they announce more tenders than Slovakia. Slovakia faces similar problems to Poland related to the lack of EU funds. So as you can see, we are talking about 11.5 billions. The bids that were the best and placed as first ones in the tenders had the value of 3.2 billion zlotys. We very often complain about the time that it takes to the Polish authorities to evaluate our bids, but it turns out that in Czech Republic and in Slovakia it's even longer. So let's look at our global backlog. It's more than 12 billion zlotys. It's very diversified. We can say that we have less projects in railway sector. but almost 8 billion are contracts pending signature in railways. And I believe that we will manage to recover in this segment and gain more projects. As we see the backlog maturity till the year 2026, we have work for our company. Now we will go to road market, and I will give the floor to Czarek Wysenko. Ladies and gentlemen, this slide presents our contracting perspectives. In the recent years, we want to show you our efficiency as far as bidding is concerned. Till October 2023, the value of offers that were the best valued reached 9.7. Our efficiency is of 20%. We should add that we have 4.5 billion of contracts pending signature, including foreign markets. I'm the person in charge of those markets. We have also managed to obtain a contract for D11 Trutnov, and another one D35 on Thursday next week. We managed to gain a contract for a dam.
Czechia.
So these are first projects of Budimex in Czech Republic, first big projects. These are investment programs that are currently existing in Poland.
National road.
Total value of investments amounts right now to 294.4 billion zlotys in the Polish road construction program. So the perspectives for this segment are quite solid. It will help the company to maintain a good order book if we maintain our efficiency, bidding efficiency. The financing for the national road program is guaranteed. This program has been working since 2014. Then we have another program, 100 bypasses. It was announced in 2021. Two bypasses from this program were already opened. One was executed by Budimex. Right now, Budimex is executing 5 projects from that program. We, of course, are strengthening our national road network. It's divided into new investments and maintenance. The necessary amount for implementation is of 58.3 billion.
Thank you very much. Now the railway part. Good morning, everyone. As our President Popko said, last month has been centered in rebuilding the order book in the national railway market. As you see in the slide, we've managed to do some advances, make some advances. We've signed 1.6 billion zlotys in contracts, a bridge, Tychy Most-Wisła, and the railway line to Chabówka. We already have 3 more projects with best bids, including a contract with tunnels, 104 line and 148 line. It's a huge challenge because you know that this market is facing difficulties in funding, with difference to the road market. Here they depend a lot on the EU funding, and you know what troubles we've been having with the recovery program. So it's a great joy to have signed this contract, and I really hope that our investor is going to continue signing the contracts, and we're going to rebuild our order book. As you know, we have a Polish investment programs for the railway. We're active in every bid organized according to these programs, and we hope that the next months and years, because as we know, the railway is going to be one of the branches that will get most funds. Because of that, I hope for a stable order book with lots of contracts. In Latvia, we've finished the procedure with one Rail Baltica project of high-speed line. And this contract is a long-term contract for next 8 years. In Germany, our company for catenary line has started works on their first job. We managed to get a certificate of German railway that allows us to execute independently works for catenary. In Czech and Slovakian markets, we're still trying to get our first railway contracts. We're investing in the development of our employees. Our employees in Prague are learning Czech language and learning everything so they could get validated their diplomas. And I hope that the next year is going to allow us to do some advances on Czech and Slovakian market. That's all from me. Now, passing on to FB Service, we have Alvaro Garcia, President, to present the situation. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to present the results of FB Service SA. As you see, we have the revenues of 666 million, which is more than the last year. And the difference is thanks to our services, which is waste, and also the road maintenance division. This increase of the revenues we can see at the level of EBITDA and EBIT, being that 108 and 67 respectively. We see the same trend from the last 2 years. As I said, this additional revenues come from the maintenance division. The last data I would like to share with you is net cash position. As you can see, is at a similar level to that of the last year. Last year we managed to improve it in the last quarter of the year. It makes us quite confident about our CapEx plan. The last information I want to share is that our waste treatment installations are going to get 100% of their capability and are working according to all the permits, necessary permits they have. The months that are coming is very intense, are going to very intense and busy period, and we're trying to get our order book as big as it could be. Now to Mostostal Kraków, Jacek Lech, the president of the company. Welcome everyone. Before I start, I would like to say that in May we've bought 100% of shares in Constalex, which is a company that produces steel structure, and that makes us the leader of this market. And for the first time, we were presenting the results consolidated, fully consolidated. We have revenues of 426 million zlotys, which is 15% more than last year. And net cash position is lower, but all I can say is that is under control. Contract procurement is at the level twice as big as the last year, and we have 19 million of EBIT. After 2 difficult years, we're going back to our trend, which is continuously earning money. In terms of order book, and we've been working in new products, on new products in our portfolio. We have multi-story car parks. This year we would like to sign a contract in this sector so that we can get some revenues next year. And modular construction, for 2 years now we've been producing steel structures for modular technology buildings. We've already placed some bids in German markets, and I think that it's a good direction to grow in. Thank you. And now, in the next section, market and outlook. I'm not going to talk about every segment, every sector that we've been talking about here with Maciek and Cezary. You see the summary of the investment, which makes 1 trillion zlotys in total. National Grid, 62 billion until 2036 is quite a challenge. And the roads, 360 billions. Solidarity Transport Hub, 140 billions. Investment in ports, 40 billion, which is hydrotechnical construction, one of our favorites, and obviously the energy market. Transmission lines nuclear plants. We've signed a contract with Westinghouse and Bechtel in this respect. Also, offshore wind farms. All of this must be supported by EU funds, so we would like you, as a reminder, we'd like to show you this 3 budgets. Cohesion Fund, you can see the last perspective up to 2020. And the new perspective, 2021-2027, similar to the last one, to 9.2 billion infrastructure, 4.8 billion for railway. This must be analyzed together with CEF Connecting Europe facility. If you see the joint funds as we know, every year 10% of the total amount was allocated to Poland. So I think that this amount is going to help us to fund the works that are planned. National Recovery Plan is based on 5 bases. 2 being the most interesting: green energy, green and smart mobility. Those 2 segments are the ones that we want to concentrate in and to follow on our diversification. Also, I would like to mention Budimex Energia, a company that has been working for several months only, but has already reported some success. For 2 months already, we've been producing energy in our project Magnolia. These are only 2 power turbines, but we already have a PPA contract signed to an external customer. We're also carrying out Camellia projects, 14 megawatts of photovoltaic farm. What is important now that we are taking into account the applications of approximately 800 megawatts, 140 megawatts of application for connections already have been submitted. And now to CSR and ESG. Welcome. As we've already told you, in June we announced our ESG strategy that is a follow-up on our activities in CSR based on sustainable development goals. We are aware that our growth cannot be separated from sustainable growth and social responsibility we build for the people. And as our president have said, a person is always in the center of our attention. One of our CSR projects is the House from the Heart. It's 3rd edition already. The last ones being dedicated to numerous families. And now we're helping to an elderly lady, Teresa. Her house was burned with all the things in it, and she was left homeless. We're helping her together with our companies from the group, Mostostal Kraków, FB Service, and also the Polish Development Foundation. We're reconstructing the house. We've already demolished the old one. And we're designing the new house. The technology is going to be the modular one. We want to build it and furnish it. The next of our projects from 2016 already is Hello ICE. We help kids in schools, in kindergartens. We share our knowledge on safety on the roads, how to use your bike, how to use your scooter. We also train them in first aid. This year there has been 14 meetings with children in all Poland. Normally we carry out this project next to our sites in Warsaw, Ełk, Żuków, Poznań, and many more places. Students of technical secondary school get different kind of help from us. We help them to get started in their professional life by funding some internship. We invited more than 300 students from technical secondary schools and universities to our sites. We organize internships. We invite students to work at lots of different projects of social responsibility. The first one being the internship that goes with you, and the idea was for the students to do a CSR project, and we awarded a technical secondary school from Bełchatów. Those students did the renovation of a Ukrainian family, and in exchange for that, we renovated their educational space in the school. We refurbished it, and also there was an air condition installed. It's very important for us to collaborate with local society. We help charities, we carry out charities, we support many different actions around our contracts, like the Green Stop in Warsaw, that consisted on planting 150 trees around the tram works. In spring we planted 130 trees, and now it's been 150 trees together with the residents of the local area. Collaborate with us. Also, we have this program ESG in autumn. We've already carried out some educational activities for our employees and have designed a series of trainings to educate our workers on taxonomy, greenwashing, or also we are preparing to report ESG for 2023. As Budimex, we want to innovate, we want to be the leader of Polish market and also in external markets. One of those projects of innovation is a multifunctional robot created by the engineers from Italy, Germany, Austria, and also Poland. Budimex participated in this project thanks to some EU funding. The ones who have been in Karpacz Economical Forum could see how the robot worked. Also, last Friday, the robot was being tried in one of our sites in Krakow. The robot is going to serve to move heavy materials, heavy loads, also will help to drill, to paint. These are the examples. This is an example of the project. For instance, in Warszawa Zachodnia railway station, not far from here, we have the cranes, automatical cranes, that has been working our sites for some time now. The next project that is an innovation for us is the first imprint of stairs that we are going to put in Elk in one of our sites. You might see how it's done. We're also looking for a possibility to use the AI technology, and this allows me to say that Budimex is a leader of new technologies in Poland. Thank you.
Szanowni Państwo, zbliżamy się do końca.
Thank you very much. We are reaching the end of this conference. So, we think that it's been a very good quarter. You can see the key numbers on the screen. First of all, we've been increasing our revenues year by year for the last 10 years. We hope this year will be better. The increase year by year is of 9.8. If the weather is good, we will reach the record level of revenues. The cash position as well should be historically high, which will allow the whole company to enter new segments, new areas, not only green energy. We don't predict our operating profit to be worse. I would like to invite here Daniel Tymiński that would talk about this project. Every quarter, we are open to your questions. So I really encourage you to put down those subjects on Teams. It's also possible. You can prepare them, and when Daniel finishes his presentation of this building, we will be at your disposal to answer those questions. Thank you very much. I would like to thank the whole team that was in charge of this very difficult program. I would like to thank your support. Thank you for the support of the whole management, of the president of the board, of our region director and division director. Thank you very much. So we are in a very special building. It's a very complicated structure. I could talk for hours, but I will give you a short summary. So we are at this terrain of the Citadel Fortress. So here stationed the military forces of the Tsar. The contract started by signing, by the signature 30 of May 2018. We started the works pretty soon in June. So we had this event that you can see on the screen, starting the construction. I would like to give you some numbers. We had to execute reinforced steel structure, and we used 11,842 tons of this steel. We have to ormigonate during 1,671 hours. We used vehicles to transport the concrete during more than we used more than 10,000 vehicles to transport the concrete. We excavated thousands and thousands of soil to execute the works. We used more than 22,000 of Portuguese square meters of Portuguese marble. You could see it in this building. It's very visible. Some interesting facts. On one of the parcels, we use more than 1,500 cubic meters of concrete. As far as the basic data is concerned, we have the building is 100 meters wide. It has 44,000 square meters of surface. We would like to show you a short film from its execution. The works were very complex and very difficult. We had 6 tower cranes on our side. More than 800 people working on the site in the most intense period. I remember once that one of the people from the company providing us with concrete was so surprised with the quantity of the concrete that he called us to confirm that the number was right. We have used many unique technologies and solutions. So we have some installations that recover heat from the earth, that allow us to use renewable energy. We as well recover rainwater. This room that we are in is very special as well, taking into account its acoustic. It's a box structure with vibro isolation that you can see on those walls. It really makes it special. You can see the whole production process and its stages. So many interesting solutions that I've already mentioned. Some of them are very innovative one. We have the surveillance of the structure, and in its central part, it's very resistant in order to protect the exhibition located in this building. One of very interesting events was the installation of those huge monuments inside the building. We had to introduce them before installing the roof. So as you can see, we have some monuments coming from Warsaw. Now you will see a very short film that will show you the installation, the placement of those huge monuments before. One of the elements that is very characteristic for this building is this facade from this Portuguese marble. That's more or less all that I've prepared for you. I could talk for hours, as I have already said, but I would like to show you one more short film, and then we will have a Q&A session. Polish History Museum.
At the right and at the left, there are persons with microphones. Radysław Łotkowski. I have two questions. First one is about bids when Budimex goes in consortium. What is the part of Budimex and what is the part of other partners? And the second question is about the capacity of treatment of the waste.
Występujemy tam jako tylko wyłącznie Budimex. Pracujemy w konsorcjach tylko na takie kontrakty, gdzie faktycznie nie mamy mocy przerobowych i musimy wspierać się firmami specjalistycznymi.
Przepraszamy, mamy problemy techniczne.
Small technical issues. Okay, so I will start once again. In 90% of our bids, we try to place our bid independently. We're quite a big company, so we manage to do complex projects. We only use partners in projects when the risk is too high, mainly because of the time, or where we don't have references, the experience required. We have those contracts in our portfolio, the tunnel contract. In tunnel contracts, and we are waiting for signatures, and in those contracts we're going to be responsible mainly for the road structure. Normally we try to sign contracts and use only the experience of the of our partners, but there are contracts integrated, consortium integrated with Gulermak, Turkish company. We're responsible for the tracks, and Gulermak is responsible for the tunnel, the railway tunnel. And FB service, I will pass the microphone to Alvaro. Thank you for those questions. As I said before, during the presentations, our installations are going to work at 90 or 100% of their capability, according to the permits we have. We're trying to develop the company in that respect, and we're considering acquiring a company in the market, but also we are considering some greenfield projects. Considering that greenfield projects are long-term because of all the complexity of the works and all the permits. Sometimes it's 4 or even 5 years before the start of the operations. We are interested in it. We are analyzing the possibilities that are presented to us. If we have anything interesting to say, we're going to share it with you. Thank you very much. Next questions. I can see there is one.
Czy możemy włączyć ten mikrofon, który... Przepraszamy bardzo za problemy techniczne.
Teraz jest włączony. Dzień dobry.
Konrad Krasucki, Bloomberg. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. As for your perspectives, you're talking a lot about EU fund projects. In the market, the general assumption is that, considering the results of the elections, there is going to be some speed up in contracts. And my question is if the construction market is prepared for more and more contracts, considering workforce and materials accessibility. Also considering what's happening with the migration lately. It's a very interesting question. In short perspective, we think that next year is going to be difficult.
Spodziewamy się, że te środki, które zostaną uruchomione,
We expect that the funds that are going to be activated are not going to enter the next year already. Also, recovery funds have to be closed and allocated till the end of the next year, which makes it quite a challenge. And this is definitely going to make prices of materials rise. As for the manpower, I think there is a huge potential on the market from the companies. There are lots of construction companies that suffer lack of new contracts, new bids. Also, there are some bids and which do not materialize as a contract. We're expecting a signature. So, for now, there are less contracts active. So there is a potential in the market. As for the manpower, we are going to lack people in contracts. This is a global problem, not only in Poland, but in all other European countries too. In the construction, this is a difficult sector. It's difficult to bring young people to work here. And before us, as a sector, there is this huge challenge to get young people to work in this branch. And as a country, we have to be open for the people from outside Poland that will help us at our building sites. During the last year, the support was coming from Ukraine, and if Ukraine is going to be rebuilt, we expect some of those people to get back to their country, so we're going to have to look for workers from another country. Thank you very much. There are questions here. Daniel Piotrowski. May I? My question is for you. You've just said about Ukrainian market. Budimex is going to treat the Ukrainian market as a perspective in long term, or is taking any measures to prepare to enter this market? Thank you. I can answer this question, as the foreign markets, especially Ukraine, is my job too. Long term, yes, this is a very interesting market, and Budimex is preparing very meticulously for that, but in long terms, not in a year or two. There are two criteria that are going to be very important for us. This is a public company. Transparency is very important for us, and the other thing is security, safety. safety of the company and safety of our workers. And in that respect, we expect Ukrainian market to change in terms of transparency, and in terms of safety, we expect the hostilities to end. This is a condition for us to enter this market. We have a plenipotentiary for the Ukrainian market. We're contacting the governmental entities that work in that respect, but the conditions I mentioned must be fulfilled. There was another question. Daniel Kosiński, Puls Biznesu. Is the company taking note of the delays in permits for road building, road or railway road? The delays depends on a part of Poland. In general, we get the building permit with general road direction. We generally get this permit in 7 months after placing the documentation, which is complicated, but in some regions is possible. But it's very different in Mazovian voivodeships. There are many permits given because there are many projects carried out here. And here the dates, the terms of these permits may be very different from those 7 months, up to 12 months even. There is no unique rule for all the permits. By law, it should be 165 days if there are no obstacles. Adding to what Czarek Łysenko just said, let's remember that these are lump sum contracts. The faster you finish, the lower the cost. That's why we try to finish our works before the deadline. And in many times, the delays do not depend on us at all. Next question. Michał Majewski, Allianz Fund. I'd like to ask about approval of general constructions. Certification of general constructions by GDDK. It is an ongoing process. It's still active this year, or the next year we are going to talk about the reactivation of this process. It was suspended at some point. The certification itself didn't bring anything to a contractor. A certified company didn't get any benefits from that. And I think that in that case, a company should get some credit for that. And that is our goal here. We're working together with the construction associations on a proposal to define the certification process. Any more questions? No questions, so we are going to see the questions put on our stream. First one, considering historical net cash and interest falling, would you consider to pay out some extra dividend? Our policy is to pay 100% of the benefit, so that's the most we can pay, at least from 2023 results. And our policy is going to continue as it is. Next question. In the first semester, other operations were adding to the financial results and now are lowering it, especially the write-downs on receivables. This is the hedging of our income in euros. As euro is, if euro is going down, the valuation is higher. If it's going up, the valuation is lower. It's just the hedging of contracts in euros. PPP projects. Is Budimex considering more involvement in those kind of projects? Yes, of course, we are considering PPP projects. We would like to be actively involved. There are not many projects of those in Poland. We've been participating too. There is an interesting project for us that is going to be announced in Czechia. It's Road D35 program, and we are preparing to place an offer with our Czech partners. More than 1.5 billion euros. Question from our teams abroad. What scope of works is Budimex interested in for nuclear plant in Choczewo for collaboration with Westinghouse? Yes, of course, not only as Budimex, but as Budimex Group. Jacek Lech here, president of Mostostal, is contacting Westinghouse. In general terms, as for the collaboration with Westinghouse, the technology supplier, and Bechdel, the construction company for this project, we are in constant collaboration. We are collaborating constantly. We want to be involved in the construction of the plant itself and all the auxiliary infrastructure. We also are contacting another construction companies interested in nuclear plants and nuclear plant companies. If any perspective of participation appears, we are going to be actively involved. As Mostostal, obviously we're interested in steel structure for the project. There has been an audit in our factories. This audit brings us closer to the execution of these works. Thank you. Some questions from the analysts and journalists that came by mail. First one. Gross profitability of the third quarter is possible to continue in fourth quarter and in 2024, or was it the effect of some singular contracts that finished with a better result than expected? If you see gross margin and also EBIT, the profitability in the third quarter elevated our gross margin up to 10.3%. In fourth quarter, it is possible to obtain, depending on how the winter is going to be. Normally in fourth quarter, the weather conditions affect our results, but obviously, yes, we want to maintain this profitability in 2024. It would be a great success for us. You can still put your questions on stream. How do you see your competence in the following quarters in GDDK contracts and in railways? May there be any gap considering the changes in management organs of those companies? There has been a huge competition among construction companies, not only road construction, but also general construction. It's because there are less and less offers, bids, and probably next year there is going to be a gap, 1 year gap with no contracts. So we see the competition. We assume that is going to affect the margins of all the companies. We don't want to enter this fight. As you see, the last weeks, we hasn't been able to be first, second, or third in these offers. And there are 15 bids placed in every offer. Also, there are foreign companies that are not aware of all the conditions of the Polish market, which may be difficult for them and for the client. Next question. How is the topic of the indexation of the contracts with GDDK going? You're going to make it higher up to 15%. And how is the negotiation going on? Here with us, there are the people from the construction association that are helping us to negotiate. We were starting with 20% of valorization, and now we decided that 15% is acceptable, and we're expecting the cabinet of ministers to accept it, and we're accepting it. We're going to see the acceptation shortly. We see the next questions about valorization. Now about railways. How is going the topic of raising the valorization of PKP up to 10%? Are there annexes signed in that respect following the announcement? On the new contracts, the limit is of 10%. In old contracts, there are two types of those. projects that included the valorization based on this typical railway product basket up to 5%, and we're going to sign annexes to those shortly, raising the limit up to 10%. And there's another type of contracts with no indexation, with an old formula, and there the problem has not been solved yet, but we hope that we're going to be able to get some solutions. Another question from the auditorium. I would like you to give us more details on the valorization in the roads. Is it for new contracts or the contracts in work? It's for the contracts signed before the war in Ukraine started in February 2022. The new ones are going to get 10%. Next question, Rail Baltica. What is the status of this contract? When we can expect the signature of the contract? And what is the situation with the protests, and how are the terms of appeals? All the procedures have been finished, also the appealing procedure. We have been informed that there was an appeal that was rebuffed by the authorities. We're expecting the signature of the contracts, and we expect it to happen within 30 days from the authorities' decision. So November or first day of December are going to bring us a signature of the contracts. Another question: what are the perspectives for industrial and energetic division? Well, as a person responsible, I would say they're very good perspectives. We are going to do the modernization of a sewage treatment plant in Lublin. And there are investment programs that are going to include those types of contracts. There is the Polish grid renovation program, there's the atomic plant program, green energy investment. And all those projects are going to bring us new experiences. And we do have good perspectives, and we are going to do everything possible to be present in this sector too. There are lots of questions, and we're not going to able to answer all of those. We're going to answer them by mail. So we close the question and answer session and give the floor to the President. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here with us. As we said, we're going to try to answer all of your questions. We're here for you after this meeting. We can offer you some beverages, and then we're going to give you a tour of the museum, so you can see all that we have built here during the last 5 years. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to the main hall. The bands you get are identifying the groups for visiting. The groups are going to visit the Polish History Museum. If there is anyone who wishes to talk to our employees, please contact me so that we can set up the date. Thank you very much.